Well, transatlantic flights, not exactly short, are they? But a new study says they might be getting just a little bit longer. Scientists say climate change might cause flights from Europe to the US to take longer, all due to global warming affecting the jet stream and slowing down planes heading for the US. So what exactly does all of this mean? Well, it suggests that flights from New York towards London will be an average of 5 minutes faster. Flights from London to New York likely to be 7 minutes slower. And this means each round trip will be 2 minutes longer, and planes overall will spend, this is quite a big figure, 2,000 more hours in the air. Well, Chris is with us now from the Weather Centre to explain some of what is going on. And I think you should start, Chris, by telling us exactly what the jet stream is and how it works. OK, well, the jet stream's fast winds up in the upper atmosphere, so we're talking about 10 kilometres above the ground. And these winds can fly across the Atlantic at 150, 200 miles an hour even. So you can imagine it's a massive advantage if you can plonk a plane in those very strong winds, because the plane gets pushed across the sky, which saves the plane loads of fuel and also loads of time. So the big time savings and fuel savings by hitching a ride on the jet stream. But of course, if you're going back the other way into those strong headwinds, what you want to do is you want to avoid those strong winds. And actually, no matter which plane you get on in the world, there are two forecast organisations that forecast exactly where the jet stream is, and that's the UK Met Office and the American equivalent, which is the NOAA weather forecasters. And so they know exactly where these strong winds are, so what they'll do is they'll direct planes into those strong winds if the planes are going from the United States to London, for example. But if they're going the other way, they'll avoid those strong winds so that they can save fuel that way as well. It's a bit like surfers checking out the waves, isn't it, to see what's going on. But Chris, is the jet stream being affected by climate change? Well, one of the things this model looked at, so they modelled how long it would take for the planes to go from New York to London. So it's a specific forecast across the North Atlantic. And the study looked at a doubling of carbon dioxide concentrations. Then they found that those winds would increase a little bit. But as I say, one of the key things is if you know that those winds are going to be stronger, you're going to get a forecast from the Met Office or from NOAA, and you're going to avoid those strong winds if you're going against them, or hopping a free ride, if you like, on those strong winds if they're going in your direction. And we are just talking about this particular jet stream, aren't we, between Europe and America? We're not talking about other jet streams in other parts of the world, Chris. Well, this study just looked at the cross-Atlantic jet stream, but yeah, you're right, there are vast tracts of the Earth where the jet streams aren't so frequent. So, in other words, if you're flying, for example, in the tropics, you're not really going to encounter those kind of strong winds. So, I don't think you can generalise this study from a global perspective for the whole of the aviation industry. But that said, it's a very interesting study across the North Atlantic sector, which, of course, is a very busy sector for plane travel. OK, so these flight times, does that seem realistic to you, the amount that they're adding on, you know, the 5 minutes here, 7 minutes there? Well, it's possible. One thing I would say is, look, the jet streams move about every single day. So it's arguably more important to know exactly the position of those jet streams rather than looking at a slight increase in the jet stream speeds over the course of, what, a few decades. It's probably more important to know the day-to-day position of those jet streams so you can make the maximum fuel savings. OK, Chris, thank you very much for joining us with that.